Zynox won 2 Solo Cash Cup Finals games. He only played 2, so he had 100% win rate in EU. And this is the loadout we're cooking with. Now, you may have seen this already. Everyone's already using the stealth splashes. My guy Bass is way ahead of the time. The auto shotgun, med kits, a single, Fiznade. And then, of course, also the, oh my god, wingsuit. I can't remember already. Let's see his entire strat and see how he actually managed to win both matches. Off the rip, we are gliding to Canyon. Now, this is actually important. Very, very strange note here. This is a west to east bus path, and I know maybe a lot of people haven't landed in this corner of the map before, but on these kind of bus paths where you have to glide in this direction, having an extremely low drop is absolutely required here, because there's a lot of people. Let me plug my controller in. There's a lot of people who land at like this building here, or if you're kind of gliding in from the north, they'll land up on the rock up at this side here. No one actually has. It doesn't seem like in this particular match. I've not got the nameplates on, so I can't see anyway. So low gliding so that you make sure you land on like this side is so much better. I had a drop where I was like looting all of this, and the amount of times I died out of the sky trying to get a perfect drop from someone landing there, because you have to kind of land high and they see you above this cliff. Totally kind of a relevant point, but still, he's got a good drop. Who would have thought? Grabs the chest first. That guy, I was going to say 50-50, managed to slide in 50-50, but doesn't. So he gets the easy elim off the rip. So this corner of the map is pretty heavily contested most of the time now. As you can see, how many people we got. So many people up in this corner. One here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one all the way down. Like, you're really not able to go and loot much. Like I said, I was taking this, which was fine. There's a slurp truck in here. The amount of loot in classified is actually insane. So you can basically get whatever loadout you want coming from this drop spot, in particular because there's also a mending machine right there too. So play medkits. You can play, I mean, I would be surprised if he doesn't have the option to take anything he wants. So on average, based on the spawn rates of the chests in here, there's one guaranteed 100% spawn rate chest, which is this one here. There's 2 rare chests that will spawn, which are in the bunker. So obviously down in the bottom. There's 20 chests on average, which will spawn. And then like as much brick and metal as you could ever imagine. 13 wood's kind of crazy though, I must say. So it's now second zone. This is the loot he's coming out with. Basically entirely stacked in here. And he's only tanked a little bit of storm. So 15 storms so far, nothing major. Ooh, he's actually getting keyed already in the finals. Kind of a rare sight. Most people are playing, well, I was gonna say a rare sight. No, we've all played Solo Cash Cups. What am I talking about? Absolutely not a rare sight at all. But earlier he came in here and blocked off all of the mending machines and stuff. He does this to basically every exit in here, so he always knows if there's been someone in, so they'll block, which is nice. But as he got keyed, he can just run straight back in, and then either, I don't know what he's actually trying to grab from here. Is this going to be probably the gold for the, yes, for the twin hammers? Interesting. So intentionally using, is that 1500 gold I think it costs to get a gold item out of that? So a big commitment there, but of course, because there's so many chests, it's just so easy to get so much gold. Now, I dropped that one fizz. One fizz for 2 fiznades is interesting because it's more shield total to carry the 2 fiznades that you found. However, there's less opportunities to use like each individual rotate with them. And when you're using the stealth splashes, you know, using a fizz by itself is usually pretty good. But it also then uses a little bit, I don't know how much gold. He's now got literally 0 gold. Okay, so he used literally all of it there. Final med kit, I think he's going to rotate. Only a little bit of storm tanked and a pretty far zone for him. So let's see how he ends up making this. Something I just saw him do here. I don't know if this is just me or not, but I swear my glider never goes this high when I use this. I swear, when I use this, I swear it never goes this high whatsoever. But again, the terrain in this area is very interesting. A lot of the strats we've seen out of players is very, very similar. Like the OG Kostenanok strat was using this big rock as well. So flies from classified up onto the big rock. And I was gonna say, I imagine using the, to get uphealed to the campfire and then just insta wingsuiting. So he's not like wasting any time. He's actually not playing a bunch of storm. And that's because, of course, in finals, I don't know if every game goes to heal off. I haven't actually watched the end game here, but a lot of the matches did go to heal off, so you can't tank too much storm earlier. However, this is the opens. You can tank tons of storm because those games don't really go down to heal off. But again, because it's finals, you need all of the heal off potential that you can. He's basically just using his mobility and his wingsuit, and obviously by foot rotates, to try get as deep as early as possible. So, you know, a lot of the strats that we've seen are like go as center as possible as you can on like 3rd and 4th zone. It's kind of tough when you have like a full max zone from here, and he's gotten, yeah, we can't say that's super deep by any means, but he's managed to get his way into the 3rd zone at least. This is something I don't see a huge amount of people doing. I mean, it's probably not that required because somehow there's no one near him. Every time I go to Lethal Labs, there's like 1 million people in here because of the mending machine. Somehow everyone's already like center zone or further to the south here or around. Very strange. Maybe we're getting like an anti-meta where because everyone's been playing Lethal Labs and rotating there every game, everyone's now avoiding it, which is interesting. But he decides just to get a little deeper. Even though the 4th zone's not popped up yet, he just uses his wingsuit to go. There's actually no one, literally no one in this area, which is very, very rare. But he is using a lot of early wingsuits to try and get himself into like deeper positions as much as possible, right? We're much closer to the center of 3rd now. And obviously all these people are already there. This is like the least congested congested side I've ever seen. That's crazy. And he does get a lucky pool. So he gets the 4th zone pool right on top of him. Not too shabby at all. He's here, so manages to grab this. Unlucky for him. Kind of one of the worst positions you could be in as a max 5th zone. But again, you can see the benefit here of moving away from that edge here, as there was a bunch of players who ended up rotating here down into that 4th zone layer. So, you know, the people who are kind of sitting around in Storm have now come in. So had he sat in this position, you would have a pretty rough priority because there's a bunch of people here. But in reality, this isn't that bad of a rotate for him because there's one guy in front of him. There's 2 guys here. So by putting himself much deeper into the zone here, he's given himself a much better priority to rotate. Just hits the wingsuit as soon as zones start to move using the trees. This is, I mean, the top left is kind of free to wingsuit in for the most time because you can just wrap around all these trees. I like how he dipped down early. He's not trying to get in deep here because there is so many people already in zone. Like, there's no way he survives if he gets deeper in. So you can just kind of sit at this point. Actually manages to get a refresh without an AR, which is interesting. But because he's so... he literally gets like nothing from this outside of the little bit of metal that he got back. But maybe if he pulls the 6th zone or something, then he might be able to reuse a bunch of the extra mats. There's also a purple pump down there, and he's intentionally not picking it up over the gold twins. So, you know, for a single gun strat, like having an automatic shotgun is just better. All right, 6th zone is going where? Max away from everyone. Not a single person there. The entire lobby has to rotate. So what's important now is that he just times at the same time as someone else, so that he's not the only player flying through the sky using the wingsuit. All right, he's trying to get some shots onto other... No, I thought he was going to try and tag someone else as they were rotating there, but just waited. As other people are going, he's going at the exact same time. Let's see if he actually gets tagged because of this. He's staying quite low, which is nice as well, and then dipping down the hill. It's just much harder to actually hit him when you do this. Nice little slide in. He is getting lobby focused a little bit, but he's got 2 boxes now, and he's good. Cool. I like the look in here to check if he can refarm this building out. Number 1, obviously materials are getting refreshed from that. But number 2, if there's any extra heals here, he might not have to waste one of his nades because obviously he's on 25 shield. But we will see. One of the main things that a lot of good solo cash cup players do, and just basically any players ever, is they always choose a good spot to land in where they can reharvest some sort of mats. So in this instance there, obviously getting a little bit of wood back. I think he managed to get his capped wood. Obviously can't replenish any of that brick. All right, 7th zone's popping. Where are we about to go? Pull south, kind of towards dead side again. I'm just imagining, I mean, I guess you do use one of your nades before you go. You just risk so much, like using a wingsuit at 125 HP. So I don't think it's worth just doing that whatsoever. But we'll see what he decides to end up doing here. One of the things, obviously, you can wait and see if someone else is using one of theirs so that you don't have to and you can just jump inside of it. And I guess that's potentially what he's looking at. But everyone's just sitting doing nothing. So there's a very low likelihood that's going to happen. Oh, there's one next to him. Does he go for it? Does he jump for it? Nah, he doesn't decide to. Doesn't decide to. Okay. There we go. The nade goes out. So he's used the 1 bomb. Surge, he's 154 above. You don't really need to worry too much about Surge in this as long as you're not taking tons of damage. Like off spawn, he got like 100 onto the one player. You got 20 onto someone else. And I think he's only taken 75 damage there on that one rotate. So, you know, Surge isn't something you really need to worry about too much if you're not just losing damage over and over and over again on every single rotate. So again, you can kind of play a single gun strategy. High layer land. I like this. So he lands on a high layer. So this is what a lot of the players with the stealth splashes are doing. We really don't want to be going on low layers because you're very easy to get cut and get... That's maybe not the word I want to use for that. We'll say that anyway. Yeah, you don't want to get blocked by other people. So by landing on a high layer, you can like run across the top of all these builds, which you'll see a little later. And now he's in a pretty ideal position, right? He's in, what, 7th zone? And he still has 115 builds left to his name. 8th zone's about to pop, and it pulls again towards the dead side. So basically every single one of these zones is just pulled towards where no one is, which is interesting. That makes the rotates a little bit easier because there's no one set up there to hold you as you fly through with the wingsuit. Relatively easy rotates, but it's for everyone in the lobby. It's not just him. The one obviously major concern here is the fact that he only has a single heal for shields now, which is the med bomb. I guess not picking up that fizz earlier worked because now he has way more shields. All right, someone has med bomb near him. I think this rotate you just use the wingsuit anyway. This isn't one of the ones where you want to use one of the stealth splashes. Now, does he stay up? He does. I like how you can notice how when he flew up here, he stayed like to the right, like along the edge of the storm, so that he can kind of circle it all the way around. He didn't just go straight up. He intentionally went around the backside here, so you can kind of do one rotate. So you should be able to stay up for this entire one. Again, remember, because it pulled towards the dead side, there should be no one really sitting on height looking up towards everyone. If it pulled back over, you might not be able to circle quite as easily. Drops down. Yet again, another high layer. Kind of done like a classic Tayson box here as well, where he's floored off, got the ramp above him, walls to the side, and then there's just a wood cone and above, cone above, and a wall there. So he has a good box to peek. So if this player wants to run out here, he can just edit through the floor. He can scout through this ramp if he forgot to place that wall, if that wasn't there. Gives him a lot of angles to go for shots. A lot of the best players who are using this strategy, though, are just building like a single box rather than using 2, because the chance you get in a refresh is so low without an assault rifle possible, that you have to be as material efficient as possible. So I want to see if he keeps doing that on every single rotate or not. He's trying to steal someone's splash now. Oh, sorry, the fizz effect from the cloud. And now this is where the stealth splash comes in. You hopefully should stay on much higher layers. Yep, entirely invisible. And he's staying much higher. Straight into another fizz bomb. You can probably just crouch here. He's just sprinting around, which is funny. A lot of the players are just like crouching in a corner. Because then you stop making visual audio. Like you can still be seen on these high. Oh my god, he's straight in the box. Straight in the box to someone else. And he's out. Makes a single box. Does make two. Okay, so every single time he's making two, which is kind of what a lot of like players would do in duos in comparison to how a lot of these solo players are playing. But again, we'll see if he ends up using, because he basically used no materials on that rotate, you can obviously afford to use a little bit more when you're actually boxing up. He gets keyed, instantly drops, makes another single box here, and then the zone starts to pull back. So this is time for another splash. I want to see if he pushes through for more of those med bombs. So you can drop down, gets the med bomb effect. And you can see he's like kind of, oh my god, this is getting dodgy. You can see he's like going up as he rotates every time here. He's trying to like mantle and hurdle up. Splash again. I think if you take storm damage, the effect ends. So you can see he's continually mantling up onto high ground. That's a free kill. That's a free kill. He doesn't go for it. Very okay. Interesting. The one thing that a lot of players are doing in this scenario, which I'm not seeing him do, is obviously you're trying to run across the top of the builds as much as possible, right? He is basically second height. Look how hard that is to see him on high settings, by the way. This is what like a console player would see. You know, there's not really like the green outline that you can see on like performance mode as much. So one of the things that a lot of other players like Bass are doing when they're doing this is that they're constantly staying below height. He's not really looked up much. So what they're doing is they're kind of staying on top of whichever build is underneath him to rotate around so you can't be seen from the height player. And then because you're playing second height and always under them, there's almost no one who can see you at all. I don't know if he's being spotted there or not. It seems like he is. So now he's doing the same thing again. Get to the front side. Couple boxes. Reconnects himself down below. He's got 54 builds still left. And this is the second last moving zone now. So he almost has enough to actually like play out the final moving zone because he still has 3 stealth splashes as well. So it's the next one goes out. Jumps over. Mantle on top of that again. Looks up to the height guy to see if he can see him. Now he's playing underneath. This is where the crouch comes in. Everyone at this point is also kind of weak. If you notice, most of the HP the players around. So this is where the twin hammers goes crazy. But I guess he doesn't really need to anything. Oh, this could be free. No, jumps up. There's players fighting for height, so he doesn't want to necessarily do anything too crazy. Second stealth splash comes out. He's got one more left to his name. He's used literally 0 builds on this rotate because of these stealth splashes. Drops all the way down to low. That's where he finally creates a box for himself. That's a lot of materials used to get up, though. There's no one up on height. So, again, he's basically just waited for everyone to run out of materials. And now he's taken height. And now it's what? Top 6 scenario. He's barely used any materials the entire time. 20 builds left. Probably the most in the lobby. Let's see. He does have the most. One guy's 19. This guy's lost. Crit chick down. Can he get the materials from that? Yeah. I'm not sure if this game probably shouldn't go to heal off. Still a minute left. And it seems like everyone's so poor. I imagine they're all... 2 guys in storm already, is it? 2 guys playing early med, like heal off. This guy. Where's this guy in my kind of lobbies, bro? I swear to God. Every person in my lobbies is absolute booger. That's not true. We know that. And there's the final guy who's already playing heal off. Wow. The stealth splashes are genuinely so insanely good. He actually didn't even use the one fizz bomb throughout that entire endgame. Despite the fact that, like, he did not get hit once throughout the entire endgame using this stealth slash strategy. Where's the guy? Come on. And then it's a free kill with the twin hammers. Nice. Okay. He won 2 games doing the exact same strategy there. So very, very cool. Now there's some hopeful tips and trips you can apply to your next week's one to see. I imagine the stealth splashes are not going to be taken out. They might be gone this season after. So try this. Like, subscribe. Peace.